Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy, your 2018-2019 SCCA Senlo Region F Street Autocross Champion and GT Sport Sim Racer. And today we're at Autodrome Lago Maggiore Center 2, and it's the 2019 exhibition season of the FIA Manufacturers Cup. And I'm in the Lexus, and we've got lots of action, so stick around and check it out. All right, here we are on my qualifying lap. I'm sitting at a 45.131. That is not good. That is not a good time. If I finish with the 45.131, it's going to be in the back half of the pack. That is not a good place to be. This track is very short, very hard to pass on. Everyone's very close in time, so qualifying is so important here. And I've been down in the mid upper 44s, so I know I can do it. So I put my head down, man, and I am just trying to be smooth, be calm, not let nerves get to me. Trying to get into those 44s. I'm about, like you can see, 0.453 seconds off. So if I can get in the 44s, I can be closer to the front, and I get a 44.905. Puts me up to 5th right there, but that's not going to be my final position. Let's see what that is. Thank you, Opera Lady. That's right. It is time to get rolling around this little short track. 45-second lap times. Everyone on top of each other. Hopefully it goes smooth. So in pole, we have Chompy 18 with the 44.354 in the Aston, followed by Kaya Kimura in the Toyota with a 44.620, and then Tat EMC Squared in the Lambo with a 44.661. In fourth, Mayor 21 Gallego, I guess that is, with a 44.674, followed by Thunder Kicks, also in the Aston, with a 44.678. Andre Sav in sixth with a 44.723, again in an Aston. In seventh, Yes No Yes No Yes No Yes No Yes No Yes No with a 44.755, and in eighth, Adam Roman numerals with a 45.839, followed by M Frias, or Frias. Maybe it's Frias, I don't know, the 44.8. And then there I am in 10th, Geauxgreddy with the 44.905. Right behind me is Mr. Kelso and the UOP liveried Aston with a 44.934. And behind him in 12th, Shifter 125cc, the 44.957. And then Hyzidia in 13th, the 44.964, something like that. And then not Skinny Fella, but Fat Fella, the 44.974. Followed by Jazzercise with the 44.987. 16th, Sprinter 64 with a 45.027. And in 17th, XS Meat Axe, the 45.032 in that BMW. And then the man who doesn't know how to make tea, Sunless T 501 with the 45.213. Followed by Inklington GT and his Corvette. And last but not least, in 20th, Anytime with a 45.3. That is a tight grid. So roughly a 44.6 or 44.5, can't remember what pole was, all the way back to a 45.3. About 8 seconds from first to 20th gap. So going to be a tight race, tight grid. And of course, to start the race, I'm the lucky man who gets to start in the corners. So get into second, ease onto the gas, and Free Ass did not do the same. So his rear ass gets loose in the Porsche, and I am making a run on him. And here I come, so I'm going to go up on the inside around corner one and get on the brakes there. Looks like I've got it. He stays the outside. We see Tat spinning out there in the Lambo. Get back on the gas, and I got a nice little run on him, as you can see. He's only about halfway up on my car, so I'm thinking he's going to make that smart life choice and pull out, but he does not. He's just right there on my quarter panel. It gets into it, knocks me off the track. and boom, gets a 5-second penalty. So let that be a lesson to you youngins at home. Make smart life choices and know when to pull out. Yes, indeed. So I get loose there coming out of the corner. Tat manages not to kill me. Appreciate that, sir. And so here we are heading back towards corner 1 on lap 2. And 2 gentlemen in front of me are serving penalties, 1 for 5 and 1 for 4 seconds. So they will be ghosted for quite some time. They don't come off the radio, or the racing line. So no worries, though. They ghosted out for me. More of a worry for the folks behind further when they come out of their ghosting. So head down through the S's. Tad MC squared is pretty much running me down. He qualified P3. So I knew this was going to happen. If he was on medium tires, he was definitely going to be right on my keister sooner rather than later. If he was on hard, I thought I could have kept him at bay for the while, and he may have been. I'm not sure. I never went back and looked, but I wasn't going to hold him up. I was going to actually let him by here. As you can see, I didn't force the issue, get on the brakes, and it looked like he backed off, so I was going to send it on the inside and take my normal racing line, but he came to the inside, and that hit sounded worse than it was. It actually didn't really move me very much. And I steered out of it to let him through. I was just going to jump back in the slipstream and use him and hope that he could pull me up into 5th place. That was my hope anyway. Like if I would have tried to hold him up, it would have held us both up. So we gain on Chompy here, as he must have had an issue coming out of that left-hand sweeper, and we catch up to him rather quickly. So there I am back on Tat's rear end, and he does indeed have me pulled up into 5th. So let's fast forward here to lap 7, as Adam Roman numerals has some issues in the Ferrari. Now Tat's going to send it up to the inside here, going into the S's. Major danger, but somehow manages it, sticks it, and no one dies. So hats off to him there, as well as Adam for not killing him. So Adam gets loose there, heading to the left side, and that just struggling with the Ferrari a little bit. So I go up the inside, make it stick, pick up 6th place. So started in 10th, up to 6th, preying off the weakness of others. Haven't really made any amazing passes or anything, but you know what? Sometimes just a little bit of consistency pays. Kelso trying to follow behind me here, getting up on the inside of Adam, and he does so. He makes it stick as well. So he's got that Aston power. So moving on to lap 10. We have about 3 laps to go before I want to pit, before I want to come off these medium tires. And Tat goes in on lap 10. So he's probably on a 2-stopper, maybe a 10-10-10 strategy, something along those lines. I'm on the 13-4-3. So here we are on lap 13. This is where I want to come in. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner, I'm about 1.5 seconds in front of Kelso and about 1.5 seconds behind Andre and about 9.5 seconds off the leader. It's about 1.5, 9.5. That's what I'm putting in my brain, because when you're on this track, you just kind of take quick peeks here, there, and otherwise. I'm looking at the upper right corner. I'm running steady 45s. The car's heavy. I'm on mediums. Not terrible times, not great times, but steady times. So that's I'm happy with these. I'm going to go in. I'm going to throw on the hards. I just want to put them on for about 4 laps. I decided not to take fuel because I did not want the car to be any heavier than it needed to be. I had plenty of fuel to make it the next 4 laps. So come out the pits. Let's look at how I did on this pit stop. I come out in about 2 seconds off Hasidia, about 14 seconds off the leader. So I lost about 3.5 seconds on that pit to the leader. Actually about 4.5. See, 9.5 to 14. Yeah, about 4.5 seconds. So not terrible. Of course, I moved back behind Kelso. I'm behind Hasidia, so I don't know how far back he is from Kelso, but I'm going to guess I lost about 4.5, 5 seconds to him. So again, looking in that left corner, bunch of people jumping in the pits there. I move up to 3rd. Again, still 13 or so seconds off the leader. Not too terrible. Sprinter's about 0.8 seconds off of me. Looking good. I'm sitting here in 4th. Thunder Nux, who was our leader going in there, is a 1.5 seconds in front of me. I'm on hards right now. I do not want to hang out on these very long. I just want to be on them for about 4 laps. Now, I am paying attention to my times. When the hards start sneaking up around 46s, I need to get off of them. I'm not very good on the hard tires. That's why I wanted to limit them. I was really seeing about a half-second difference between my tires and the mediums um, throughout, an equal weighted car throughout the whole race. So the less time I could spend on the hards, the best for me and the way I drive, my style of driving. So let's move forward here to lap 17. Coming around the pit stop area, we had a yes, no, yes, no, yes, no jump into the pit. So I am now promoted to the third position. Only 5.5 seconds out of the lead now. About 2.5 seconds back on Thunder Nux. So he picked up about 1.8 seconds or so on me. And then I picked up about 0.9 seconds on the person behind me. So I'm looking pretty good. Really, I'm on these tires one lap longer than I wanted to be, but they were still holding on okay. I'm still below that 46 mark, so I'm going to come in here at lap 18. I spent 5 on them. That's going to put me only 12 on the mediums, the light car. That's going to be good. So look at the upper right-hand corner at that mini-map. I want to come out in that gap between those cars right behind me and that gap to that next set of cars. So I jump in there. I got to add that fuel. I got 17 remaining, so I need to get up to 60% because I have 12 laps left. 5% per lap times 12, 60%. I'm just going to look for that 60 number. I need to nail it at 60, 45, 67, 60. Hit it, 61%. Not bad. Coming out the pits, can I make that gap? It's looking like I might be able to make the gap, but as I come, Mr. M. Frias just catches me, and I'm like, son of a bitch, that gap was what I needed. I needed to be in that gap right in front of him. And he squeezes me over to the left. Now, Mr. Life Choices here. Again, I don't know. Maybe he was pissed at me from earlier in the race, but he knows good and well I just came out on way fresher tires than him. No need for him to squeeze me there. Just race me around that corner. Let me get that lead out on you, and then jump in my slipstream, help you out a little bit. But no, he wasn't having any of it. So instead of me being able to really put some time down on these fresh tires, I've got to figure out how to get around M. Frias in a Porsche, which corners a good bit better than the Lexus. He goes inside to defend the position again. Obviously, we're in completely different strategies. I get into the backside of him because he's braking so early because he's on crappy old tires. So I'm like, all right, where can I make this pass? Really, that corner and the last corner, the two best places, I'm not quite as good as Tat is in that Lambo and making passes stick in the S's. So I set up this, I go outside, cut back in, try to make a run on him here, get to the inside, and I'm going to outbrake him. I just brake late, mash the brake pedal rather, get on that corner. I make it stick. He almost loses another position to the BMW behind me. And here's what's really shocking. And he goes into the pits. What? You just raced me for like 1.5 laps. So as you can see, I ran a 46.588 there and a 46.275. If you look further down, lap 14 and 13, I ran a 45.990. Sorry, 14 and 15, and a 45.591. That means I lost 2 seconds because of the Porsche. So, killing me. So, moving ahead to lap 22, Kelso jumps into the pits there. He's getting on some fresh mediums. He ran I believe like a 12.88 or 12.10. I don't remember. Whatever. He told me what it was. But he was on a slightly different pit strat. Actually, he was the one who gave me the idea of this crazy wackadoo 13-14-13 pit strategy. So I was running pretty good times with it in our practice lobby, so I was like, I'll go for it. I ended up running a 13.512, and it so far it's been working out pretty good. I'm sitting in ninth, one position higher than I was before, with 7 laps to go. And I'm on fresh mediums, a fairly light car. I'm running good lap times. You can see since the Porsche got out of my way, I dropped my lap time by 1.2 seconds. So what kills me about the Porsche is had I just gotten out that gap just a hair earlier, I would have been probably in front of Kelso. Now, he's on about 5 lap fresher tires than I am, because he came out on the hards to start the race. So maybe it was a 14.88 strategy, I think that was what it was. So 14.88. So having trouble catching him. We come up here on Tat, who was putting some good moves on some folks and laying down some pretty fast lap times. And he's on what appeared to be a 2-pit strategy. So he goes in on lap 28. So a 10-8-12 type strategy for him. But I'm able to overtake him in the pits with only 2 laps to go. Wait, that didn't make any sense. Not 10, 8, 12. I'm not sure what. Maybe he just ran out of gas. That little star on the gas symbol was off, so it was easy to run out of gas. So here we are on the penultimate lap. Kelso is just steady keeping that 2.5 second lead on me with his fresh mediums on his Aston Martin. Of course, he didn't divulge his super secret pit strategy till later, but that's all right. I'm going to keep my eye on him. So anyway, looking to just try and make a conservative last lap, finish the race with an 8th position. That'll make me very happy. I started from 10th. I get promoted here to 7th because someone went into the pits. I believe it was Shifter 125cc. I've got XS, Meat Axe rather, not Meta-Axe, behind me. He started in 17th, so he is killing it out there from 17 to 8th. In front of me, I've got Hasidia and Kelso. Kelso started off behind me, and I believe Hasidia started off right behind Kelso, if I remember correctly. So all 3 of us kind of started off in the same place, but right now I'm trailing both of them. So seems as though they had a slightly better strategy than I did, and Medax had the best strategy of the 3 of us. He did great. So coming towards the finish line, I got Yes No and Hasidia in front of me. Yes No runs out of gas, so I grab 6th, cross the finish line. I'm pumped, but look, I get promoted to 5th. Why is that? Oh, it's because Hasidia never put on the hard tires, so he got a 20-second penalty and drops back to 10th place. So I take 5th, started 10th. Kelso gets 4th, started 11th. XS Medax started back in 17th, ended up in 6th place, picks up 11 spots. Wow. Thundernux catches Chompy 18 for the victory, and Andre Sav comes in with 3rd place, last podium spot there. So hey, I'm pretty happy. My best score for this current season, 1,250 points. I will put it in the bank. So enjoyed that race. It turned out to be fun. The strategy part was excellent. Had me thinking the whole race, doing math in my head, trying to race at the same time, making passes, all that good stuff. So it was a pretty enjoyable race. So I hope your race went well. I know that track could be frustrating at times. So really you had to keep it on the track and come up with a good strategy. So hope you liked the video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like. If you really liked it, smash that subscribe, and you can catch all the future action. That's right. Woo! So anyway, for myself, Geauxgreddy. Y'all have a great evening.